Hello guys, welcome to .NET tutorial. I am Parikshit. In this section of video, we are going to discuss about looping statements. What are looping statements? Looping statement is a very basic concept in programming language. Its a concept levels are same, all concepts are same, but the syntax wise quite different. Looping statement should have a starting and end point basically. If they don't have the endpoints, they might execute endless without stopping. Looping is a continually repeated until a certain condition is reached. So basically in C sharp we have four looping statements: while, do while, for, and for each. Each of them provides a way for you to specify that a group of statements should be executed until some condition is satisfied. We can have a look on one by one. The first loop is a while loop. What is while loop? It's a very easy to understand. Means that all statements will be inside the register executed and repeated unless and until the certain condition met true. As long as certain condition is true. What is syntax? We can have a loop. It's a while loop. While is a keyword. While a condition and it executes. It should satisfy. The condition should satisfy. If it is not satisfied, it come out of the loop. Or we can use break keyword to come out of the loop. Let us see one example here. We can see here integer I equals to 10. I can loop this value I while I is less than or equals to 10 or 100. I can make it here. So I will increment the I value. Let me print this one. Value of I. So when I put a breakpoint here, see, now the value of I is 10 greater than or equals to 100. It's true. It will go inside, it increments. Means, as I told earlier, looping statement should have starting and end point. It's a starting. The condition is checked. This is an end point. Okay, let me execute this. When I saw my console, I can see from 10 to 101, the value got from 11 to 101, value got printed. Let me make some changes over here. I won't change the value. So if we don't have any endpoint over here, keep on executing. It might reach your infinity. So in looping statement, it is necessary to have your starting and endpoint. This is the while loop. We can have a look at do while loop. What is do while loop? In C sharp, our do while loop is a kind of a loop where we have a certain set of instruction to do and it checks the value. We can have a simple example over here. Do it is performing certain set of operation over here and the condition check is happening next. If the condition is satisfied, then it will do the business process. So the do while loop is a quite ambiguous, except in this case, loop must always to be executed. Do while first executes once, then it checks the condition. If the condition is false, it will execute once. You can have a simple syntactical reference over here for do while, how it works. Let me banish this one. Okay, so, okay, it's clear. Yeah, you can take here do. It is a your business operation will be done here. The condition checks. If the condition is satisfied over here, then it will execute again. If the condition is not satisfied, it will come out of the loop. Let us check how it works. This is my while. What I will do, I will remove this over here. I can do like this, and I can add do over here. I will do the increment of I in this process. So, I can print the value like this. Let me put the breakpoint in both the sides. You only understand which will execute first. So when I start here, perfect, the breakpoint comes, the control flow comes first in a do block. So it will increase the value, then it checks the condition, again it goes to the do block, again it performs the action, again it checks the condition, unless and until the condition is not met. So now it is a true, means it will go the do block and it will execute the code. Let me remove the breakpoint. See, I can have a result over here. This is what we call do while loop. So the next is what? Our for loop. A most structured loop in the C# is a for loop because it has a three parts. One is initializer, and another one is condition check, and the third one is the operator operation that takes place in the each time to the loop. So the syntax looks like this: your initializer first, then a condition, then increment or decrement. The example is like this: for I have, you can take an example of string array, string array equals to not a string array like this, equals to new string of new string of, I can give that name like Parikshit or Vijay, Vijay, like this. Okay. Now I wanted to do this value. How can I do? For integer I equals to 0 means this is the initialization. I is less than array of length, and I can display each and every character over here or each and every string over here. Array of, I can do every position. Let me explain you why debugging. By debugging, as I told, when I come here, your initialization happens first, then your condition check, then it will execute the code block, then it will do the increment. The next time, the condition check means the initialization in the for loop happens first time. Then your condition check and increment will take place. Later onwards, your increment and condition checks will take place unless and until your condition fails. Okay, now the thing is, I can display the values over here. See, I have a result of array. There is another way of using the for loop is commas in for loop. You can initialize more than one variable in the initializer section of C# for statement. And you can carry out the more than one operation in the section of statement. So you separate these statements with the commas. See, let me explain. I have a for loop like this for x equals to 0, y equals to 0 means you are initializing the variables in the first step only and you are checking I is less than 100. 1 minute. I is less than 100 and I am performing some operation I plus and I am incrementing the y variable as well. Then x equals to I plus y. Basically, internally, how this for loop will works means it has no effect on the loop's efficiency. It works like this: int x equals to 0, int y equals to 0, and for int I equals to initialization, a condition check, and increment or decrement operation. The same operation will takes place. This is how you use the commas in your for loop. It's possible to write entire program inside an overstuffed for statement using this comma operator, but this is a way of intent of your to showing the intent of your program. That's it. And one more question I have. In last video session, I something talked about break statement. How can I make use of this break statement? Let me explain. I have a for loop or I can have a while loop here. While I have one integer I equals to 1. I can initialize by 1 where I is less than or equals to 100, then execute this. Okay, I am doing increment of I. So then I have a requirement in the middle saying that come out of the loop when it reaches to 50. So console.writeLine, I am printing the values every time. So I can check. So if I is less than 50, sorry, I is equals to 50, then break. If I reaches to 50, then don't display it. Let me check how it works. See, till 49 it got printed, later it didn't printed. Why it is not printed? Let me put a breakpoint over here. See, when I reaches to 50, so it's breaking, means it is coming out from the loop. Means your loop has been ended. Loop execution is being ended. So the main use of break keyword is to come out of the loop or come out of the any statement in your C#. Let's move forward. A last loop in the looping statement is our for each loop. Why the for each loop will be used? To iterate the collection. The basic advantage of your for each is what? Iterate the collection. It's a easy way to use and more readable format for each. Very easy way to use the looping means uh, the it can iterate the collection of elements. For example, here I have string string. Oops, it's my mistake. String name equals to new string of. I can give a couple of names over here like Tata Motors, Tata Motors, and like Bosch, Bosch, and like anything can use Tech Mahindra. So the one way to display these values is our for loop. I can use for loop int I equals to 0. I can initialize the value. I can check the length and I can print the values. It's a one way of my for loop. The other way is what use for each loop. For each loop, what it does, it will iterates, it will loops each element means string. I can take, I have a string array, is my collection. I can take each and every element from that collection and I can print over here. See, it looks more readable and easy to use. When I print this, perfect, I got the same. So, for each loop is preferred over for loop when working with the arrays and collection. But the thing is, performance wise, for each loop takes much time compared to for loop because it internally uses the extra memory in the space. Basically, for each loop uses the get enumerator method of IEnumerable interface. So for each loop can be used with any class that has implemented this particular interface. So we can discuss about IEnumerable interfaces in our collection classes. So to exit the for each loop or any iterative loop, you can use the break statement or return or go to and through. That's all about today's session. In next session, we are going to discuss about arrays in our C sharp. By that time, thanks for your time and don't forget to subscribe my channel. Thank you.